So a friend of mine bought a ESP LTD Nergal-6, and he needed me to check it out and do a setup on it because he bought it used. You can't get these new anymore. So for the limited time that I was going to have the guitar in my possession, I figured why not do a video on it and give it a review. Like I said, you can't find these new anymore, but you can find a handful of them used in various places. I actually found this for him on eBay, and the prices vary. When the guitar was new at the time, it was listing for $1,199. You can find the guitar for various prices on Reverb. Outside of the US, there's one that's $1,699 US price. Within the United States, there's two of them, and they're both, we'll just say $1,000. One's $995, one's $999. So they're out there. Now, let's get some specs out of the way. This is the LTD Nergal-6. This is the Eclipse body style. It is satin black. It has a set-through body construction. 24 frets, mahogany body, mahogany neck, ebony fingerboard, two Fishman Fluence modern humbuckers, a ceramic in the bridge and the Alnico in the neck, and black hardware, and it comes with a case if you buy it. Well, it would have came with a case if you bought it new. Some of the used models that are on Reverb, some of them come with a case, some of them don't, so I guess it depends if the person wants to part with the case. You're not getting anything that's like, the case isn't specific to that guitar other than the fact that it's for an Eclipse body style, so any ESP Eclipse case will work with this guitar. But how is the actual guitar? It's pretty cool. It's one thing that has struck me as odd about ESP and LTD Eclipses is the thinness of them. Now, I know there's full thickness bodies out there, but the two Eclipses that I've played that just so happen to be signature guitars, it was really odd how thin they are, but they're comfortable. Neck through construction on this offers a really nice heel access. There's a cutaway on the back of the guitar, or like a scoop on the back of the guitar, kind of like, think of like the PRS guitars, how they have that little scoop on the lower horn on the front of the body. This is on the back. It makes upper fret access really easy and really comfortable. I mean, as far as playability goes, I mean, it plays great. The guitar was set up pretty well. I didn't have to do anything to it other than just intonate it and slight truss rod adjustments. I mean, hard to say what you're getting into when you buy used. I've bought some used guitars that were turds, and I've bought some used guitars that were great. So, I mean, your mileage may vary. Now, granted, being that it's an LTD Signature Series guitar, it's probably in good working order from the get-go. So as long as whoever had it took care of it, then you'll be fine. You know, whoever had this, they didn't play it a lot. There's not a lot of, you know how like matte finishes, they get that shiny spots where your arm rubs, or where basically anything rubs against the guitar for extended periods of time. Nothing like that. It will happen eventually, I'm sure, depending on how much it gets played. It doesn't matter to me. I know it matters to some people. The fretboard itself is pretty bare bones. There's no position dots or anything. There is the Behemoth logo that takes up the 11th, 12th, and 13th fret. The fret, or the inlay work is, I mean, it's crisp. You know, like I said with the Kirk Hammett guitar I reviewed, there's nothing really bad as far as the quality and craftsmanship goes as far as the inlay work. Granted, it's only one inlay, but it's sort of intricate. The frets on this one were in really good shape. Nothing, like I said, out of the ordinary. It's tough kind of doing a review on a used guitar because, you know, any number of things can happen. Unfortunately, I did not have the guitar long enough to to do a really produced demo track. It's a mahogany body guitar with Fishman Fluence moderns. So I mean, you can probably kind of figure the range of tones that you're going to get with it. They sound great. I'm not particularly a Fishman guy, but I mean, that's more of my taste than anything. I would never say they're a bad pickup. They sound great. I prefer the modern active sound over the modern passive sound. Now, one thing I have, and I didn't note this in my other LTD guitar videos, and I should have, because it's starting to bug me a little bit. I noticed that LTD cannot seem to put like an actual battery box in. They just like route out a cavity and put a plastic cover over it. It's not detrimental, and it's not the end of the world having to take out 2 screws to change your battery. It is an inconvenience if you need to do so quickly, though. I don't know if there's a battery box that fits that particular route and recess there or not. I haven't measured them and did the math. I'm going to say probably not, because I haven't seen too many battery boxes that have a radius on the ends, but I don't know why they do this, but you know, some people might not. It's just for the sake of transparency to, you know, mention that. No locking tuners, unfortunately. I don't know if casual people, like some of these signature guitars are, there's a balance with signature series guitars, like Brian Schaefer Head from Korn. His guitar, I guess you could say maybe to an extent a Snakebite, just a plain old black KH2, KH602, the plain black Kirk Hammett guitar, the Gary Holt Eclipse, like guitars like that are pretty. Jim Root actually is probably the best example of signature guitars that they match the specs of the artist, but they're plain enough guitars that you can make them their own. Whereas something like the Iron Cross and this particular guitar, you know, you could sort of make it your own because it's fairly standard. The only thing that really screams Behemoth is the triumvirate logo as the inlay. I mean, other than that, it's a pretty sleek and clean guitar. It's a lot of function over form. I can't say that this is probably a guitar that, you know, just somebody that likes single cuts should dish out $1,000 to pick up. But I will say, if you're a fan of Behemoth or that style, I think Behemoth fans will find something to enjoy here as far as like a nice collectible guitar that isn't the god-awful NS6. Normal metal guys that aren't necessarily into Behemoth, there's a good guitar here that's well worth the money. It doesn't necessarily scream Behemoth, but people that are diehard into Behemoth will probably recognize the guitar. For guys and girls, I guess, that are big into Behemoth and play guitar, you have a nice little collector's item here, since they don't make them anymore, and a pretty fantastic guitar. It's fun to play. It feels good. As far as the playability of the guitar, there's nothing that I can say negatively about the thing. I just think it's probably going to appeal to a niche audience. But anyways, guys, I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch, and like always, if you could rate, comment, and subscribe and all that fun stuff that the algorithm likes, it would be greatly appreciated. And once again, thank you for taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next one.